D12 on the beat.
One love, yo.
I don't know. Now what they got to do, Papa? Why you keep blessing me like this? You favor me like you this. Still keep on protecting me like this. Yeah, you sustaining me like this. I'm so grateful, grateful, yeah. Say, I don't know. Now what they got to do, Papa? Why you keep blessing me like this? And you keep favor me like this. You protecting me like this, and you sustaining me like this. I'm so grateful. Hey, hey. You give me plenty money. Too much data. Fun cherry. You put food on my table, clothes on my body, and you share to me. You share to me, so I say, count your blessing. Think that one by one, and you will know what thing that God can do. I'm so thankful, yeah. See, yeah. I'm so grateful, yeah. I used to be cocky on the carry. I didn't have no lyrics. They used to call me for nothing. Yeah. Sister boy, but thank God you never left me down. No. You always been there for me. So I raise my voice and say, I don't know. Now one thing I do, Papa, why you keep blessing me like this? You favor me like this. You protecting me like this. You sustaining me like this. I'm so grateful, God. Jehovah Jireh, yeah, my provider. Jehovah Rapha, yeah, my healer. Jehovah Shalom, yeah, oh my peace of mind. You are my strength, like no other. You are my song in the storm. I just wanna praise you and praise you. Lift my voice to you, my God. Give you praise, yeah. Say, I don't know. Now one thing I do, Papa, why you keep on blessing me like this? You keep on favoring me like this. You protecting me like this. You sustaining me like this. I'm so grateful, God. Grateful God. You give me plenty money. Too much data. Fun cherry. Food on my table, clothes on my body, and you share to me, so I say, elevation by you, promotion by you, celebration by you, blessing by you, favor by you. When it's plenty, grateful, I'm grateful, God. Oh, I don't know. One thing I do, Papa, why you keep on blessing me like this? Oh, you favor me like this. Oh, you're loving me like this. Blessing me, blessing me. Oh, baby, grateful, grateful. Oh, grateful.
All right, let's just see. But let's try another one here. Let's try another one.
KZ, big name, Lego, yeah,
Wakenune, Anaka, Anaka. Oh, no, yeah. Bono yamba kego ga gone kafia we kwembe die we wasa you mane webe koma mi we na kaleso yanele we na kaleso bokezi we ba Sami levo we na kaleso Bienveni na kaleso Bienveni na kaleso Anaka Anaka Naka Anaka Kakabaya
I went in my country, everything was just okay. Everybody was dancing. I am Baba Ow, eating there, ow. Nobody would eat me. I buy cold. Everything was just shaking. Saka member just shaking. The mountain just shaking. I saw ye. She won't call me GD. She won't show me loving. Yeah, but they happy to love. Everybody says she for true love. They're looking for true love. They have to find true love. You found baby, you sweet. Your body intact. They pressing your lip because they won't take you to bed. You better be careful because if you get in the milk, they will never go for the cow.
Eyo, nalano. Eyo, nalano. Lera nagalea. Wewa yo, lera nagalea. Toy wayo. Lera nagalea. Mekliwo wayo, eya, lera nagalea. Ubego wayo. Binagale no lekeli. Agala kweme sokele tiano plaisa. Eyo. Kante we moka we ma na kalese samale yo say you ule kato kakamo samale
All right, Porleah, one more. Let's do one more, and then we'll get started. The show going. Let's three songs, and then we'll get it started here. Let's do this one.
Oh, no. You looking for this boy Bex. Black magie. Yeah. Oh, man. They say you never know tomorrow. Oh, no. This girl, she no trouble. Ella be, baby. You can be my lady. Come ride with me now. Baby, can you ride me? Oh, man, take it easy like Sunday. Every day is a fun day. You give me love in the morning. Girl, you love me in the evening.
When I'm with you, I feel like I can't lose control. So just hold on to me, baby, don't you let go.
Don't let go now. Hold on, baby, hold on. Don't let go. Hold on, my lady, hold on. Don't let go. You're my pen lover. Girl, you love me all day, love me all night. You're my pen rider. The way you hold me all day, hold me all night. You're my pen lover. Make you
Baby, so money, Jack got your melody. Oh, yeah, Joe for me. She no tell nobody. Is he because of money? Nana is calling me, oh. She want to spend my rubber. Louis Vuitton, no Prada. Baby, slow down, make you no go fall down. Baby, will you come now? She wanna make love to you. Is he because of money? Then he's calling me, oh. She want to spend my rubber. Louis Vuitton, no Prada. Baby,
hold on, baby, hold on, don't let go. Hold on, my lady, hold on, don't let go. You my pen lover, girl, you love me all day, love me all night. You my pen rider. Know why you hold me all day, hold me all night. You my pen lover.
Girl, I feel to go a long time, I fight for your love. No matter what you do, you always be my boo. All I do is up for you. I travel the world back and forth for you. I don't need grace for you lately. I don't need grace for you, hey. Think about you lately. I don't think about you, babe. Mandole, Cherry Coco, future wifey, woman of my dreams. Come on to me, hold on to me, my lover. Come on to me, hold on to me, my baby. When I'm with you, I feel like I can't lose control. Hold on to me, my lover. So just hold on to me, baby, don't you let go. Don't you let go.
Hold on, baby, hold on, don't let go. Hold on, my lady, hold on, don't let go. Love me all night, you my pen rider. You know when you hold me all day, hold me all night, you my pen lover.
All right, Porleah, what's up? What's going on? How's Delaware today? Yeah, there you go.
In Pennsylvania. I'm actually doing a show from Pennsylvania today.
Oh, you're in my state.
So,
Okay.
I am.
Oh, you're fairly geared today. Okay, I see. You got this Philly swag today. I can tell.
Yeah, right. Stop feeling sweat.
Yeah, you got
what's going on with your end?
Not much. Having fun, chilling, crib. As usual, I like to be here to have conversation with the people, including yourself. You know, the last time you were not here, you know, we have to get a show going, you know, so people are busy and stuff like that. So if you are not on, I have to improvise. If I'm not available, you're going to take over, you know. So that's how it is. All right. But
Yeah.
anything for, over the week, anything for the week that, anything fun that you did that you want to, we want to warm up with before we get this show going here?
Actually, not really. This week has just been a busy week for me. So nothing fun. But I'm going to be having fun this evening, though, because, you know, I'm all ready, as you can see. After the show.
All right. You gotta give me an inbox and message too, so I can come over there. Yeah,
I gotta get your address.
Most definitely, yeah. I want to be part of that. Is that a shindig or something different?
What was that?
I said, is it a shindig? Is a party or something?
Yeah, something.
Okay, something. All right.
It's something.
Okay, all right, good. So let me see here. I got a few people that are following the show right now. Seeing Lucy Zarza is following. Dalo, what's up, man? Gaddafi, the Libyan leader, is also following. What's up, buddy? I'm seeing Otero Colo. How you doing, Mr. President? Our VP Delaware Valley. I see Missing Tuba is also following. Tipote, Warburg. How you doing, big man? What's going on? A long time. Ophelia Watson, how are you? seeing other people, but I can see their names. All right. So, thanks for following. Please share for us. Just hit that share button so your friends can they can follow the show as well. All right. So, Porleah, the game plan here is as usual is to start with some shout outs, to people. All right, so that's what we're gonna do. There are some people that celebrated their birthdays over the week or even today, and also we want to start with that today. All right, so let's see what I got some images here for us to do some shout out to people that I saw. Let's see here. So, guys, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Voice of Sinoe. We are happy to be here with you. My co-host Porleah, Krah, and I, we are always happy to be here. So, Aloysius, welcome aboard, sir. Let's get to these images here. I got a bunch of them. All right, let's see, ladies before gentlemen, right? So let's do this here. I don't know what I'm gonna go the other way around, but let's do the conventional protocol. I don't want to contravene protocol here. So let's put this young lady. You see your image, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why you know her, but you know her?
Not really. I mean, I've seen the picture on Facebook this week, but I don't know her. But I mean, she's beautiful.
Right. That's our president in one of our chapters, the Florida chapter. That's the first lady there. Her name is Weah George.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So Weah celebrated her birthday. So we just want to. Voice of Sinoe in the Diaspora, we want to say happy birthday to our first lady. She's the first lady. Guess what? She's also the queen. Yeah, imagine that. Yeah, the people the people say you're too beautiful, so you got to be in two positions.
Yeah, you got to be the first thing. Got to be a queen. Yeah.
Yeah. So
happy birthday, beautiful.
Yeah. So we want to say happy birthday to Weah George, or if you like Brown, that's the husband's last name. So we wish you many more years. All right, and then the next person here, maybe you know the person.
Mm-hmm.
You know him, right?
Absolutely. Sure.
So I want you to start with that. Spearhead this one.
Well, our honorable president, or our former president, Obaku Yuma, happy birthday, and we wish you many, many more blessed and healthy years.
All right, so in addition to that, I also want to add my voice to my co-host, Mr. President, our former national president, Mr. Obaku Yuma, also celebrated his birthday 1 or 2 days. I can't forget, I'm terrible with time. So we like to say happy belated birthday to the president. We wish him many more years. He did a great job to revive the organization, to maintain the organization. After the 7 years misunderstanding. All right, so he did great. He left structure in place, the structure now that our current president is using to do the beautiful work for our community. And so, Mr. President, we want to say happy belated birthday to you. All right, that's it. That's our former national president here. Let me see who else I have here. I think I got somebody else here that I want to. If I don't add a picture, then hey, you're on your own. Yeah, if I don't add a picture, then that person on their own. I had it here the other day. Well, apparently I did not add a picture. It looks like it. Yeah, well, that's mine. I think I did a post on him already. That's Moton Jado. Moton is one of the guys that relates to me a whole lot with respect to things that are going on in Sinoe, he's in Liberia. And so Moton also celebrated his birthday. So Moton, we want to say happy belated birthday to you, and we wish you all the best. All right, so Porleah, let's go to.
I think you're done with the birthdays.
Yeah, go ahead.
What's that? Something else? Oh, okay. I think that's a female in Minnesota, Atias Morris or something. She's celebrating her birthday today.
It is okay. Yeah.
So happy birthday, sweetheart.
Yeah, no, it is happy birthday to you. Wish you many more years and more grease to your elbow. All right,
Right.
so that's it. So if we don't recognize you, it's not on purpose. If you're out there celebrating your birthday, I want to say a special shout out to you. All right, so Porleah, let's go to our first talking points here for the day. Let me get to my agenda. I'm going back and forth here on things. Uh, Excuse me, guys. Let me see. So the first one here, Porleah, I wanted to talk about here, the letters. Uh, you want to read that? You can go. You can go ahead and
So
read that for us.
the government of Liberia versus healthcare workers. Juxtaposition or position statements.
Yeah. So we're going to juxtapose the two statements. We have the healthcare workers on the other hand, on one hand, then the government of Liberia on the other. So the statements are out there. I think some of you have seen them, but we want to just look at the content. What are the grievances of the healthcare workers? Whether the government handle it correctly? I don't know about you, but I think they did not handle that correctly. So go ahead if you want to come in.
Yeah, I do want to come in. First of all, I mean, as healthcare workers, we understand what they're going through. Personally, I can relate. They are more than one of few professions that work hard, the harder working people, especially in places like Liberia, the nurses, the doctors, and the aides and everyone. They work so hard, even more than those people. I feel that way. They deserve more than representatives and senators. That's my opinion when it comes to pay. So I'm just going to dive in and say, if senators cannot live on $5,000 in Liberia, what makes them think nurses and doctors can live on $500 or less in Liberia, and it's the same economy? So I can relate to the healthcare workers' plight. However, when I heard about how the president, I guess he said they're going to recruit other people or recruit new group or something, and I'm wondering where you're going to take these people from. I guess I don't know if he's talking about people that are retired or what. Like, how can you just take people from, even if they are retired for years, or maybe brand new nurses, anybody you bring in there, you will have to train. They will have to be trained by these people that are in there right now. So I would think that the government will try to solve this problem ASAP, like bring these people to the table and work on some deal. I understand there were some deals on the table before his term, before this government, but still I think they should work hard, because healthcare is something that you can't afford for people to be out of work. And some of us, we say to them, "Oh, you guys are neglecting your patients when you leave." So, but the urgency should be viewed the same way from the government standpoint. They should know that this is urgent. This is not something we can play with and say, "Oh, we're going to grab other people from somewhere and bring them in to come and work." It's impossible right now in Liberia. So I think the government should do better. They should, put some stuff on the table with the representative for the healthcare workers. And that's just my thought.
All right, so but Porleah, I want us to just go over the specifics of what those healthcare workers they talk about. So that's the letter of the government of Liberia on the screen there for you. Let's put the healthcare workers letter first, and then we can, because we are juxtaposing them to compare them. And so if you look at this one from the healthcare workers, they say here, members of member of Fourth Estate, fellow healthcare workers, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, you are aware that on September the 2nd, 2020, the National Health Workers Union of Liberia demanded from the government of Liberia in a press release the implementation of the Memorandum of Understanding signed in September of 2019. The government responded on the 10th September 2020 by calling for a meeting between herself and the union with the President of the Republic of Liberia and nearly half of his cabinet, in attendance at the ministerial complex. Okay, it goes on to say, after listening to our concerns, which included the following. These are the things the healthcare workers they delineated. So they say number one, Grand NAWA. So that's the acronym for the organization. NAWA, the certificate of recognition. That's the first thing they ask for. Certificate of recognition. Number two, provide a clear salary base for each grade that correspond to the qualification. That's number two. I read that again. Provide a clear salary base for each grade that correspond to the qualification. Number three, it says here, reclassify healthcare workers who I say workers and they say has. So anyway, reclassify healthcare workers who has over the period upgraded their professional status. And then they got number four, that a policy document for redeployment and transfer be suspended until the union can have an input. And then number five, they say provide a blueprint on how the almost 1,000 pensioners gap will be filled. And six, that victims and families of COVID-19 should fully benefit from $500,000 $500,000 announced in the July meeting held with the Minister of Health. Then they got Minister of Finance and other ministries. Okay. Number seven, gave the long-awaited salaries increment. Okay. Gave the long-awaited salary increment. So they're also asking for salary increment. And they got number eight, that a hazard payment must be executed for all healthcare workers. Okay, that's what they say over there. So, Porleah, if you listen to these are, do you think the demands or the requests of the healthcare workers are unreasonable?
I mean, some of them, when I'm not sure about the whole. I mean, the hazard worker thing, of course, the need that definitely increased pay is a big one, I think, and I don't think it's unreasonable. And some of the things is just for the government to put in place, like to be able to. It's not like they're doing the salary on is an upfront thing, and then maybe the hazardous pay or the one for COVID-19 people, but all the other ones you list at the top there is just like they want some kind of policy and some stuff put in place that it can go by. So I don't think it's I think it's reasonable.
All right. So, but given the financial situation of the government is saying the demands are unreasonable. They are too much. You know, they can't meet up with everything. I mean, right now, given the enormous load that is on the government's back, given the financial situation of the government, all of that, they cannot address everything at once. But what I want to do is to read the government and respond to what I just said. Okay, so let's look at the Ministry of Information, what they said with respect to the healthcare workers' concerns. So let's look at that quickly. And then see whether they were fairly treated by the government or they went back on their words. Let's see, I got the communication right here. All right, so Porleah, this one from the Ministry of Information, Republic of Liberia. It says here, quickly, let me just read this. Ministry of Information, Cultural Affairs and Tourism and all of that. So it's a special statement by the government of Liberia on the strike action by some health workers. First of all, they are not acknowledging all of them. This is some. So it has a political undertone already, you know. I thought it would have been right to just say healthcare workers, but they decided to dichotomize. They try to say, some. Yeah, that's how. So they play linguistical games. So they went on to say here, it was written September the 19th. Okay. So despite, they say Monrovia, Liberia, September 19, 2020, despite intentional steps, okay, the government said they're taking intentional steps, right? Despite intentional steps taken by the government of Liberia to amicably resolve the ongoing standoff with members of the leadership of the Health Workers Association of Liberia. They continue to remain uncompromising, unreasonable, and recalcitrant. Porleah, listen to the language.
Okay, before you, all our people, before you even go on to continue, what was the effort that they made that make them to think that they're being unreasonable and they're still asking? What did they do?
I don't know for sure, but let really correspond, and maybe they will tell us something specific that they did. But the language, first of all, these people are aggrieved, and you are telling them they are uncompromising, they are recalcitrant, they are stubborn people, they can't listen, basically. So it's a professional way of saying the people they do not listen to people, they are unreasonable people. I mean, you don't address people like that. These are professional people that are maintaining the country. I mean, even though we have all these issues with the country, but they are still making some sacrifices. So if they have some concerns, I think you can deal with it. Then calling them names, basically. Go ahead.
And that's why I say first even in the first paragraph or the first few sentences, I should hear we understand. We completely understand how you guys are feeling or what you guys are going through. Any crisis or any request. However, we cannot do X, Y, Z, but this is what we can do at this time. And just plead with the people instead of, like you said.
Yeah, but Porleah, to be fair to the government, the first sentence is said, despite intentional steps taken by the government.
We don't know what steps, but go ahead. That's why I asked, what steps did they take before? But
all right, so let's look at the letter. So they want to say the leadership continues to demand unionization. Okay, because they want to unionize, all right? Continue to demand unionization for health workers, in addition to an immediate implementation of standardized pay grade. Okay, this is the thing I just named in the other letter, right? So that what the government also saying. They are saying the leadership continues to demand unionization for health workers, in addition to an immediate implementation of standardized pay grade and increment in salaries for more than 900 health workers at an estimated cost of $15 million per annum. Okay, so that's a lot of money, right? So I wanted to say the leadership is also demanding payment for more than 11,000 health workers who are not directly involved with COVID-19 response. Potentially a payment of $8 million as hazard pay, in addition to their regular monthly salary payment through the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning. All right, I said the first one for go ahead.
Okay, I don't see how they find it so difficult when somebody want to standardize pay grade. That is something that you're just gonna put in place. If somebody have been here for X amount of years, or you have some credential, maybe you on a bachelor level or a master's level or whatever. If you're a doctor, this is what you make. That's how I understand it when they talk about standardized, so we know for sure. Not, even though I know it happens a lot of places, you call your little child to come and work here and you pay them, higher than somebody who you don't know. You pay them little water, that person is even more qualified, you just pay them more. So I guess something like that, they're trying to be sure, let's have a standard. And I don't see a problem with that, right? I mean, I do understand if they're saying they don't have money for the 15 million, but how can you not have money and you have senators and representatives budget 30 million or I don't know how many, 49 million or whatever they were saying the other day. So, that's just my thought. It's just excuses.
All right. So that's it's. I mean, even if Porleah, even if they do not have the money to pay these people, right?
Right.
There is another way you can do it. There's another way you can talk to them. For them, but they say anyway, the government is saying the people they are recalcitrant people. They are stubborn people. They don't listen. You know, so why should we pay attention to these stubborn people?
Right.
Basically, that's what they're saying. But I think that's a lot. The other argument they were making was that Porleah, the house of payment, right? They said all the healthcare workers that demanding, or the people that are demanding, they did not work with the COVID-19 people, so not everybody entitled to that. What do you make of that argument?
So in the government defense, I mean, I don't know if it's in the defense or not, but they brought it on themselves. In my opinion, I doubt that COVID-19 is even in Liberia.
Why? Why you doubt that?
I doubt it because the way it is contagious, the way it is, and people are dying at the numbers that they are dying. If it were there, and then Liberia, we don't have the means to do the social distancing or even, you know. So I you know, with that, I'm kind of like on the fence about that. Like, I'm not sure if it's in Liberia, but I believe that at some point, the WHO was giving all these finances, you know, like a grant and thing to countries that were battling COVID. And so we came up and said, oh yeah, we have COVID too. But from the nature of the disease, I doubt it's in Liberia. In most of Africa, but I would be specific with Liberia. So for that part, I you know, I'm not too sure about that part.
I don't know why you're skeptical about COVID-19 being in Liberia when you have global travelers that go in here and there, and you say it's not in Liberia.
They are, but the nature of the disease, if it's there, you know how many people would die? Like Liberia, the way we go, we pack in the water side like sardines and other places, and we're barely 1 feet away from each other, let alone 6 feet. People pack up in a house like a sardine. So, I mean, and even here, some people don't really follow the guidelines with a mask, but it obviously it's not going on in Liberia like that either. They're not following that. They're not having social distancing. They're not locked up in the house. Like we were locked up from March, April, in the beginning, the heat of the COVID. Some of us was in the house, like go to work, yes, come home. A lot of people working from home. People got to go hustle in Liberia. I don't see how, you know, they were staying home.
Okay, let's get to the letter here. So it goes on to say, the government, during a meeting chaired by President George Manneh Weah on September 8, 2020, informed the leadership of the workers that unionizing civil servants, including health workers, would be a violation of Chapter 1, Section 1.5 of the Decent Work Act and the Civil Servant Standing Order, which together exclude government employees from unionizing. On the demands of immediate salary, the salary should not be about address. On the demands for immediate salary increment and house of payment, the government has showed the health workers of its demonstrated commitment to gradually increase the salaries of health workers, especially workers who are currently earning far below their standardized pay grade, and potential payment of a one-time house of payment to health workers who are directly involved with the COVID-19 response. All right, so how do they distinguish who are directly involved and who are not directly involved?
And who are not, right. I don't know. A lot of the health workers, you know, maybe if they're talking about people who in the ministry, they were not directly involved, but people in the hospital in Liberia, most of the care is taking place in a hospital where people are working with people. So if you know the employees there, it should be, I guess it should be easy to do, you know.
Yes, but if the healthcare workers, I think you read the whole thing about the government is quoting, let's just say, they call it Decent Act or the Decent Work Act. That's what they're quoting, right? Mm-hmm. That says that health workers are not, or government workers are not allowed to unionize. But if the health workers, on the other hand, they are citing the Constitution. The Constitution permits Liberians to join any organization, to group in to form any organization. But these guys are using the Decent Act law. So my question is, the Constitution and the Decent Work Act, which one is a different here? So if you look at it, the healthcare workers, their argument has more weight because they use the Constitution to make an argument. Whereas if you are using another law that is under the Constitution to make the argument, so I don't know. It's not beautiful for you.
They need to follow the Constitution, and if they got money from WHO for COVID, then it's fair that they should give these people the hazard to pay, as you said.
So they went on to say, pursuant to this commitment, the government, through the civil servant agency, has already begun the process of recategorizing all health practitioners as a prerequisite to the salary adjustments, which forms part of their demands. The government has also committed $2 million as initial payment of the hazard honorarium. All right, so they say committed $2 million already. So the house, while acknowledging the hard work and enormous sacrifice health workers continue to make, the government emphasizes that there are limits to its capacity to handle all of the workers' demands in the short run. Okay, that's what it's saying. So the last one there, they wanted to say here, let me make it a little larger so I can see it. These decisions have been communicated to the leadership of the striking workers, but they insist that all of their demands must be met as a precondition to calling off the ongoing strike action at several health facilities across the country. They wanted to say the government also thanks the majority of health, again they say majority, and that's it all, right? So they are playing words here. The government also thanks the majority of health workers who have elected not to abandon their assigned posts and calls on their striking colleagues to return to work as the government works on modalities to address their concerns. Listen here, just listen, Porleah, something very interesting about to happen. Just listen. The call, however, has gone unheeded, putting the lives of patients at risk. This action reflects conflicts. Actually, this action conflicts with the code of ethics of the health profession, which prioritizes saving lives over pecuniary gains. You know, speaking of the people, financial gains. All right, so their argument here is what the healthcare workers are doing is against their ethics. What do you say to that, Porleah?
It's absolutely not against the ethics. The code of conduct that you sign when you go to work and you clock in, right? You clock in, then you decide to just walk off without any, or you refusing the assignment. That would be a abandonment of your patient, abandonment of your job. But you staying home, it's not about the code of conduct don't come in when you are home. If I decide to call off from work today and stay home, I'm not abandoning anybody. I just want to stay home because of whatever reason. I'm sick, I want to party, whatever. But if I go into work, and then so it depends on the reason. If I go into work and I'm not well, I can still come home, and that's not considered, abandonment. But if I just, maybe they give me an assignment that I don't like, and I say, oh, I'm going home, or why would I go to work and then they say, oh, I'm not being paid enough, I'm going home, then that would be a whole different thing. So no, government or whoever, the code of conduct, it does not work that way.
Yeah, but I understand where you are going with that, though, because you say maybe if you are sick or something, but to the point where you are using it as a way, or your salary, or maybe your grievances, you are using that to stay home.
Yeah, but even the fact that they just know the code of conduct where it says do no harm and you are there to save lives is when you enter the building, the facility, when you're taking care of patients. That's where you do not do harm. You do your best to keep them alive or whatever, do what you need to do within your scope of practice.
Okay.
When you are home, it has nothing to do with the code of conduct.
Yeah, but to the extent where there is nobody at the hospital to take care of the patients and you say you're sitting home, you don't think you're still doing harm?
No, you are not there. If you are not there, you are not doing harm. Now, I mean, you can speak. Code of conduct won't hold you for staying home. They won't say, oh, it's against your license or be, no. When you enter and you leave without any, viable, decent reason, that's when code of conduct is gonna. I mean, I don't know about Liberia, but I have not practiced nursing in Liberia. I practice nursing here, and that's how the whole code of conduct thing works. Now I know as a human being, your own conscience, you know that, okay, maybe if it took 2 nurses or 3 nurses to run that hospital, or maybe let's say it took 10 nurses to run the hospital, and now it's only 5. It's going to be hard. It's going to be tough. These 5 people can carry on. So some patients are not going to get attended to early, or may not even, like the care is going to be substandard. It's going to be less care. So, I mean, it's just going to speak to your own personal, morals or whatever you have and say, but it doesn't go against code of conduct law or standards now. Oh,
wow. So if you're on the schedule for a whole week and you decide to call out, or let's just say a whole month you are on the schedule and you decide to stay, you decide to stay at home, it doesn't contravene your code of ethics.
No, you're going to have a attendance issue with your employer if you're just calling out, because it puts the safety. Of course, it puts patients at risk when your workmates are working short. Like when they can't carry on. But it has nothing to do with code of conduct. It's not something that you can be reported to the state board of nursing for them to take any actions against you. It's just going to be attendance issue.
All right, good. All right, fair enough. See, that's why we have somebody that you to educate us on some of these things. All right, so let's go ahead. So the letter, just to complete it, the government continues as following the viewer comments. I think one of the viewers disagree with you, so maybe I'll put the comment up there so you can look at it. But it went on to say, the letter went on to say that the government continues to encourage health workers to return to their assigned posts, but will not allow the health system to be put at risk. They want to say, therefore, the Ministry of Health has been instructed to solicit applications from qualified health workers of various grades, including nurses, nurse aides, midwives, laboratory technicians, etc., in order to fill the temporary vacancies that have resulted from the strike action. These applications must be submitted immediately to county health centers, the Ministry of Health, and JFK for screening by the Ministry of Health. I mean, anything in that first comment or paragraph before we go to the next one?
So I guess I missed. They want to screen applications for new applicants.
Yeah, so they are saying because what we're discussing. So Porleah decided to stay home.
Right.
So the government is saying they have temporary vacancies right now, and so they need people to fill vacancies. Is that a right move for the government to make?
I mean, even if you need people to fill, you can't just immediately put people in there right now. Like even if you hire somebody right now, you're still going to need that person has to be trained. You can't just hire people and expect them to be effective to do the job that these other people who are on strike now are doing. So either way, you need these people that are running this strike. You need them, and I don't think that whatever they're trying to do over there, that's for the long term to try to train people. Even if you train those people, and you don't meet up with the requirements that they're asking for, eventually they're going to do the same thing. So I think that you just fix the problem and start going around it.
So for about training, you mean like orientation because they have the degrees. So you mean like on the job training? That's what you're talking about?
Yes, on the job training, you still need to be trained for a good amount of time to get the experience. Can you imagine them taking a whole wing and putting a whole bunch of new graduates there to run that place? No. Already the education system in Liberia, I don't trust it. The health system, I don't trust it already. So let alone taking brand new people and just shoving them in there.
So you rather have the place to be empty to wait for the guys until they are settled before the people come in?
I'm not saying it should be empty. I mean, they can look into doing that, but what I'm saying is you're going to have to train. These people are going to have to be trained. Just because you go to school, the educational knowledge is one thing. You go on the floor is another thing, and that's how people. A lot of people end up dying. Either way.
Well, yeah, this is an emergency here. You are in an emergency situation. In emergency, you don't do all that OJT trainings that you're talking about. You just have to do just the bare minimum so that people will survive. You don't think the government. I think the government has a point.
It's going to lead to people's death. It's going to lead to people dying. My thing is, I'm really hoping that the government will take it seriously to really settle these people. Eventually, you can bring more people. I don't disagree with that, but they should still handle this problem at hand and then add these additional people there to start getting them trained and whatever. But I don't just think just getting those people in there is going to fix the problem. A lot of people are going to start dying anyway, continue to die.
Okay, all right. So all right. But for here, you have. Let's assume you have your the bachelor degree, right? And you shot the state board, you pass the state board. I mean, are you still medically? Are you a novice? Will you say that you still? I mean, you know the material, right? Just like the procedure at the hospital. Yeah, go ahead.
You are still a novice nurse, even as you graduate and have your degree and pass the boards. You are a novice once you enter in there, because there are a lot of situations. First of all, in school, they teach you textbooks, right? We have textbooks scenarios, which is completely different from in real life scenarios.
Practical,
and not all of the things we learn in school. Some cases or some diagnoses that we encounter while we're on the floor, we haven't heard that or in detail about it in class. So I think they should push for the government. Yes, I agree with the government in recruiting more nurses and doctors. I totally agree. I'm not disagreeing with that, but they should take this emergency seriously and handle it. And let these people go back to work. Come to some kind of agreement and let them go back to work, and then you can continue to train and recruit.
Yep. And something I noticed here, the paragraph reading, right? The government excluded the doctors. They just say including nurses, nurse aides, midwives. So those people, you still need training, special training for nurses aid and stuff like that. For laboratory technicians and those people.
Let me tell you, nurses aid it will be minimum maybe few days. It's not a lot, but nurses were handling serious medications that people need to know what they're doing. When we go get some hospital we train, you will be under a preceptor for at least 3 months before they allow you for you to be confident to be on your own. It's not that you're in school, even though yes we do.
If you listen to the communication, the government says some healthcare workers, so they said just some, and some people are still at the facility working, and so those people can still supervise those new people that they are applying, they are seeking.
They could. I mean, just know that it's going to be you as a nurse. If I used to have 5 patients, for example, right? If I used to have 5 patients, I'm sorry. Oh my God. If I used to have 5 patients, and now because my friends, my other peers are striking, and now maybe I have 10 because now I have to. Everybody now got to split the difference, So I have 10. Me working with 10 people, it already put me up there at that stressful and very tense situation. I don't have the capacity to not teach anyone. Like, to be honest, fully teach you for you to really know what you're doing and follow you. They want to throw people in there if they just want human body in there just to say, oh, we have bodies, we have nurses in there. That's cool. But I'm saying, and besides this crisis that's going on in Liberia, they got more work to do when it comes to nurses and training nurses, for real. That will be a whole different topic.
Okay, so the letter ends with this. They say the new recruitment will not affect new workers or health workers who did not abandon their posts. Okay, so the government reiterates its commitment to ensuring that there is continuing improvement and viability of the health sector. Meanwhile, the government commands the army of volunteers, including nurses and medical officers of the armed forces of Liberia, who have stepped up to fill the gap in areas where some health workers have abandoned their posts. Such volunteers will be given first preference as the government hires to fill the gaps. So that's the letter here was signed by Eugene Nambe, or Lane Nambe minister. So I just wanted to brainstorm on that. What are the healthcare? That's the best approach for the government, or that's the best route for the government to take. So for you, the healthcare person, you are saying no, the government is not proceeding right. Who am I to disagree? Yeah, even though I think they have a point with respect to why they are still negotiating to bring the people back. I think it makes sense to find some, because it's temporary, to fill the vacancy temporarily until maybe they can reach some solutions to bring the people back.
It shouldn't take them more than 24 hours to discuss something to come with agreement, though. Okay. I don't know why it's taking days and weeks. And then they're not viewing it as a true emergency. If that's the case, then maybe it's not an emergency. Maybe they don't need people like that in hospitals.
Okay, before we go to the next thing, let's engage with the followers' comments here. So, for example, Boko is saying, I hope I can make some contributions later. Okay, if you want to come out, let me know. I can send you the link. And he also said that the people of ED3 has resolved to elect Honorable Tello Nambe. Okay, we have not reached this. We have not reached Southern politics here, so don't jump, my man. There's many way to get to Southern politics. Madam Krah, your head not easy. Okay, the people say not easy. And then he also said, just read what the government said, then you would know matter. Okay, so we just did that. All right, then Tyan say I know, right? Who else here? I want to see the comments. They are trying to make things difficult. Is that the case?
They just, this thing should be simple. I don't see why they can't just handle it quickly. And to be honest, I saw that guy comment. I'm not against the government recruiting people. Let's just be clear on that. I'm just saying they should get people in. They can do it as soon as Monday. They can work on it. How many hours, how many days do you need to have a discussion of police to tell people what, like we're going to do this, we beg you, we understand your plight, we are going to do, and then make some money for Liberia. We always come out and say we don't have money and we don't do this and we don't do that. But when we see senators and representatives making the kind of money that they make, it's going to anger other people. Then you say you don't have money. Where are you getting the money from to do all the other things? But yeah, you don't have the money for the important thing, the emergency. Right, if you get this new hire there, you're still going to have to pay them anyway.
Right. So that's a valid point. That's what I was thinking. Okay, they say they do not have money to pay these people, but they are hiring people. Okay, where are you getting the money? So it's just a catch-22 over there. So Boko said that healthcare workers listen to the government and go back in the hospital to help save lives. All right, that's Boko's call. My co-host, your point on the code of conduct isn't valid. It's a valid point. Okay, and then come back to that. You say it's not a valid point.
Okay. I was just trying to make correction on the code of conduct, what it means. So if you say that's not valid, that's fine. But I just wanted y'all to know what it means.
Yeah, but I think Boko is not doing you justice here. If you say something is not valid, give a counter argument, Right. But you can't just say it's invalid. Okay, why? Point out the invalidity in an argument, and then we can have a discussion. But just to arbitrarily say, oh, it's invalid, that you are not helping the discussion. Okay, I think Marie is saying they should hire new employees. Okay, Marie is kind of agreeing with Boko here.
I see some seditions in the house.
Yeah, so the sedition, Marie Pine is a nurse herself, and she is saying that you hire new employees. So you guys are radically on different philosophical outlines here.
No, we're not completely, because I'm not against hiring new employees. I'm just saying fix this problem, let these ones go to work, then you can continue the hiring process and recruiting process. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, so we'll have to make sure for the people that don't want to go to work, they go back to work first before we hire new people.
Mm.
Yeah, but no,
I mean, you can do that simultaneously. You can do them together, though. You don't have
No,
to wait for.
but then you're ignoring the budgetary process problem the government has too, though. Because the only reason the government is hiring right now is because of the deficit of workers, and that's why they are hiring new people. Yeah.
Let me tell you, I don't want to go in no hospital, whether Africa or Liberia, and somebody tell me this person just came from school yesterday, and she don't want to go into administer my insulin or my heparin drip or something. No, without anybody overseeing her. No.
No, but yeah, I don't want you. I want you to, if you are discussing that, do it holistically, because the government says some workers are staying home, so it means that people are still at the hospital, and the military also there helping as well. You know, and you don't want to say military; they have the healthcare team. You know, so the guys are also trained to medically take care of people.
Yeah, I guess I don't want to push this long, but what I'm going to okay. So my question is, are you going to continue hiring? So anytime you have problem, you run from it, and you hire a new group. And this group, once the group stay in and they have they're trained, they're seasoned in what they know what they're doing, then you refuse to pay them or refuse to meet up with it. Then you hire another group. Is that how you operate?
Yeah, that's a serious problem. That's a serious problem right there. You know, so it brings in the issue of infinite regression. So maybe, like you rightly said, when the next people that go on strike, they will hire new people. Whether they have do we have the medical base, or we have that many nurses in Liberia or that medical personnel in Liberia? I don't think so. You know, so I think if you ask me, somebody has a point here. I think somebody said, I don't think the way, or you said it, the way they're going about it has some problems, you know. Mm-hmm. To say, you know what, we'll hire people and we'll keep hiring. I mean, it's a huge problem over there, and they have to think about it again. Yes, I mean, after all, you control all the resources in the country. You know, the people respect their government in Liberia. So just put your intellectual or your rhetorical prowess to work and convince the people. Instead of saying, "Oh, I will hire new people," and threaten the people, you call them all sort of names, recalcitrant people, or compromising people. That's interesting. All right, let's get to the other comment here.
Right.
Go ahead. If you want to say something before we go to the next comment.
No. I mean, it's just being ungrateful. These people have served this country and served their people all these years, and you just like throwing them to the side and say, "Okay, in my opinion, that's like we don't care. You can go and we train and we just bring somebody in, and that's not even going to work, because eventually you will mess up that other friendship or relationship again. Then you continue doing that." So, but anyway, go ahead.
So, in case these people are protesting for weeks, what should the government do?
Marie Pine, I mean, the question is, my thing is, if the government approached this properly, it wouldn't go for weeks. It wouldn't go for weeks if they approached it the right way. But they're approaching it like any other thing, they quick to look at it as politics, and that group is when they keep referring to some people and some nurses, it's like that the opposition nurses, that I heard that somewhere, some other program I was listening to this week, and somebody said, that the opposition nurses that are going on strike. No, whether it's a certain group of people or not, all of us cannot go on strike. You know, even the protest that goes on, we all don't be part of it, but we all want the same thing. So just because these other people are not going out there doesn't mean they don't want it, they're not going to benefit from it, or they don't want it. So the government, when they do the right thing, says it's not going to go for 3 weeks, and they have the power to do so. We shouldn't just tell them that, they don't have the power. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. And I agree with you when you said they should hire people. I'm just saying that should not only be that shouldn't be the only way they're solving the problem. That's my thing. So on that piece, we agree they should hire people, but then they should also fix this other problem at hand.
I agree. Yeah, we have to find solution to the situation, because I think that's why leadership comes in. Yeah, if you're a leader, it's not just to find new people or to find replacement. Your ability to convince people to buy your argument makes you a leader.
So retain, yeah,
right. Retention is very important. So if you say, the people they are recalcitrant people, the people that are uncompromised and unreasonable people. Therefore, we'll get new people. All right, like Ryan said, you are bringing a bunch of analysis. I mean, new people that have not worked with patients before, and that is risky. But I don't know what I would rather have a hospital with no medical personnel in it, or let it know this can't take care of me. Which one is preferable?
When you said there are some people that what they usually do, if somebody were to call out sick today, they're just going to split it up. Yeah, it's going to be hard for that one nurse to move her to everything, but she knows what she's doing. She knows what she's doing. It's going to be hard, don't get me wrong, for you to take on an extra load of work. But I want somebody who knows what they're doing, even if I have to wait a little bit longer.
All right, so I think somebody said they want to participate. That's a number over there. You can call that number, and I will bring you on. All right, you can call that 267-648-8149. I will bring you on, so you can chime. I think I'm saying Nina said, please call me in. Okay, please call me in. If you want, I can also send you the link, so that you can come on. I can send you the link as well. All right,
sorry, my battery's going. I gotta plug my phone a little bit. You're gonna hear some low feedback.
All right, fine. That's fine. Let me see where I can also send a link out to people that wanted to come on. Let's see here. Let's see, guys. Give me a second here. I think I gotta get. All right, cool. All right. So, Nina, another option there for you if you want to come live. We can send you the other link too. I'm sending the link right now. All right, I send that link also to you. All right, so Porleah, let's go. You got that settled already?
Yeah, go ahead. Hello? I mean, it's in charge. I mean, but if I'm ready.
All right, let's go. I want you to address this one here, because since you are, I think this is very important before we go to the politics.
Yeah, about 4:30 now. I'll be turning in. Okay, so. I just wanted to give a basic education problem question. Because the thing is, even in America or even in
Porleah, before you go on, for some reason, is it because your phone is on charge? The quality of your audio is not.
Okay, let me put it back.
Yeah, because this is very important. I want you to.
You hearing it?
Yes.
Okay. So, I mean, a lot of times we have a lot of health conditions that strike us, and we are not even aware that these things are happening. And for us in Africa that do not have primary care, when I say primary care, I mean going to see the doctor just for your regular checkup and not just on an emergency basis. We don't have that. And so some things will be going on in our bodies, and we don't know until something bad or terrible happen. Maybe we have a stroke or we have heart attack or something. And a lot of times we attribute these things to African sign and say, oh, this one is happening to, oh, this person wished me and my leg is so big, or this person did this to me. I was hearing some, so that's why I just wanted to give this basic education.
Porleah.
Yes.
1 second. Let's see what Nina has to say. You didn't want to chime in.
Yeah, I'm sorry guys, and I'm at work, so I just on the show. And y'all have that interesting topic today, so I just want to, get my own 1 or 2 points.
Yeah, before you go ahead, Porleah, are you hearing her?
Yes.
Okay, good.
My point is, whatever the people doing in like brother and is right, and so we have to know to the nurses with our the outside investment of doctors and our record of that. And I know they are people they can every time. Even I'm not out in the road and they get paid. They're not putting for the day, but for benefit is for the boss. When I didn't do a marathon, I do job, they can very hard with that I get to when the other job I get benefit and put the other job. Because I'm not out with me and I need to get it with my job right now with money. So the problem I have with it is listen to client, the patient in the hospital. After your settlement, you're going to go back to that hospital. And whatever you know, I will take care of the action. I won't take care of them. And when you go back to the city, you want to go out because no shit. How do you do? So that's my point. They are fighting for this. It's fair enough. Now, some people remain in the hospital taking care of the resident, the client, or the patient, and they're fighting what they're fighting for. Or all of them let us hospital. Then you see, something that they're not supposed to be talking. All this where they have people on the people of our country, they're doing everything. Who will go that when they go off one, no man in the hospital, no that one in the hospital, no that one in the hospital. So just live within our country every blessing day. Do help. You are dying in our hospital.
Hello?
We all have a rules and we have to, we all have a plan. Just let us that they can go back to the work and they can go back to the table.
But then just to be clear here, though, in the communication, the people also, even the government, acknowledge that the people's salaries are also included. So it's I think it's the amalgamation of those things. Yeah, that's one aspect. That's one aspect of it.
Yeah, I'm going to put that. You guys have been ready, and what I say, after I finish ready, everything that was ready, and nothing like I'm not ready acting on that, and the way is right on that. But what my problem is, this is true in the hospital. And what my problem as a nurse, want to be professional in that. That's where my problem is. So that's why it's okay of the pay rate. I'm very, very acting on that. When you just get in like this, it's like the nurses and the police in our pocket. This is why it's the hospital for all the police that one put in the hospital. Say what is, how you going to get security? How you going to get it when you're not getting anything? Somebody has to be I think they said bracket, of course, bracket has to be there. Because I thought I'm making the money, the people in the pocket, the post, and then I just take the bucket. But the nurses and the security in our country, they don't want to get more money. I'm not going to buy one unit. Trust me. I'm going to say 100%, 200%, but that one I have a problem with. And I'm back to the rest of the people. I'm not going to see, but the problem is if you're resident. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
But you can't leave your opinion in the hospital. You all want to make the money, want to get the hours, or you let the patient in the hospital. And you're going to take that shit there. Then they come in and say, I got all the project. So you're not saying the robot. You are not professional in that.
So, but Nina, though, here's a question. You're talking about the patient, which I think are in solidarity with the patient as well. But what do you make of the healthcare workers? Imagine you're working for 4 or 5 months and you are not getting paid. And you're talking about the patient might die. Do you care for the survival of the healthcare workers too?
If you want to check in that, I'm not like, I can investigate if I'm moving to it. I got 1 year experience. Somebody else has when it comes to paying against people, the pay is not enough. And that's why it's not now because it's put down president. The government last and the government is doing those people here. And when it brought onto the government, people they thought they want $9 million. And the government, the guy gave $9 million, so they gave them $2 million. And that was nice for them.
But the 2 million was, they say, for the hazard workers. It's not for the people's salaries. So they say the hazard pay. Nina, I'll follow you. But the people, they listed their demands. I think about 8, and you are correct. Asking for the salary increment is another thing that they talk about. Yes, also, they have not been paid. Huh?
It's not an increment that what it's talking about, but it's not getting paid at all. That's what it's talking about. It's private increment that what it's talking about. Because what it's making in our hospital is nothing. And I suppose they need that.
Okay, all right, thank you. So, Porleah, if you have further thoughts, go ahead so I can bring Porleah on.
No, that's what I was talking about. You know, how we the what I'm better would say that food that even support the government, even not support the government, our country is better with the help, and we should start down getting our country that the people will open avenue or the road or the way for the investor to go into our country so that they will help our country in the country that we get ready in the country that we have charity that we want in the country that want to get great and that's the people who can live that what our people but we can use what we send to our hospital and we help our hospital there and that's why the government have to do we ourselves and something of our country. So talk about that and go to everybody.
All right, thank you, Nina. Thanks for your contribution. All right, so Porleah, that's Nina. What I'm hearing from Nina, she playing the nationalistic or the patriotic card. What is your take?
I will say, I understand what she said. We depend on government, and everybody should do something, to help the country, whatever. I agree to that. But first of all, at this point, the government made it that way. They make things difficult for people to even do anything. Everything you want to do in Liberia, got to bribe everybody in the grammar, even if you want to carry business there. All right. So that's a whole topic for a whole nother day. But in America here, nurses do go on strike, and they are not looked at as people that don't have heart. The people go in that field. Let me tell you, people think nurses, first of all, the nurses in Liberia, my hat off to them. All over the world, by the way, but in places like Liberia, yeah, we get paid. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I would love to get paid more, but I think I get paid okay, and I get paid every 2 weeks. Those people that go into that field over there, it's not because of money. It's because they love their fellow citizens and they are caring. It's why you go into nursing. Anyway, anybody goes into nursing for the money, the work is not compared to the money. So people, so these people are kind people. They are thinking about patients as well as we are thinking about patients. And if the government thinks about patients so much.
Well, yeah. Before you go ahead with your talk, I want us to be realistic. Can you work in a hospital without pay here if you say the pay is not important? Or people that go into nursing, they shouldn't be concentrating on pay. That's a major motivator.
No, I meant to say, I'm not saying pay is not important. What I'm saying is we could have chosen another path. But when you go into it, of course you get paid, anybody in any career. But the work is even more than how much you get paid for. And we are seeing it now in Liberia, in these developing countries. Even here in America, nurses go on strike. A lot of people think nurses make good money, right? In America here, that's the perception. But nurses still go on strike in America for better pay or for better benefits. So what I'm saying, I'm not saying pay is not important, but you have to be passionate, because if you're going in strictly for the money, you're not going to do it. You're not going to be successful in what you do. You're not going to get the rewards. There's so many more rewards than just the money. When somebody look at you and tell you, thank you, ma'am, for X, Y, Z. for
Yeah,
even
if you tell me thank you, I can pay my bills. You know, what good is that? Thank
you're
you.
not getting me. I'm saying the same thing you
I
are saying.
always
Because
say
what I'm
yes.
saying is the government, if they view, because Nina was saying, oh, the patients are in the hospital. You yourself said earlier that, but what about the patients that are in the hospital? But whatever, I'm trying to say, we do care, and that's why we go into the field in the first place. However, we still need to be compensated fairly. And if the government think this, the patient that everybody is talking about, the patriotic people that are talking about patient in the hospital, they should be speaking to the government. They should be calling the government offices, calling the president, and writing letters, doing whatever they can do, and say our friends, our family are dying in the hospital, and we need the nurses back. So please do whatever you need to do. There should be an emergency for the government, not for the nurses to worry about. That's what I said.
Okay. All right.
So yeah, got me all up there. But anyways, do you want me to?
Yeah, continue with the high blood pressure stuff, please.
So my thing is, high blood pressure is one of the diseases that affect us, especially us Black people. And some of us back home, we don't know we have high blood pressure because you don't have symptoms until sometimes it gets too late. So when I say high blood, your normal blood pressure should be at least around the range of 120/80. So your systolic and your diastolic, just the upper number, the top number, and the bottom number. The top number should be 120 at least. The bottom number should be 80. So if you check your blood pressure and it's over, my phone charge is not good. And it's over, if you see the up number starting to get over, even if it's starting to get over 120, you start watching it. But once they get over 140, then now you are in you're hypertensive, or now you have high blood pressure. Sometimes if it's over 130, they would say you're pre-hypertensive. You know, you're getting there. So my thing is, just to cut this short and just basic, there are certain things, even though some people get it because it's hereditary, like your father had it, or your first, either father, mother, stuff like that, they had it, you can have it. But the one I want for us to pay attention to, some of the other risk factors are, if you're overweight, you can get high blood pressure. If you're a smoker, you can get high blood pressure. If you're having high sodium intake, it can give you high blood pressure. If you're drinking too much alcohol, it can make your blood pressure go up. And what I want you to pay attention to is, eventually when our blood pressure starts to go over your top number, I'm just going to focus on the top number, but your top number, even the bottom number, if it starts to go over 80, you start watching it. If your bottom number start to go over 80, you start watching it. Your top number start to go over 140, you start watching it. The reason why I want us to pay attention to this, because some of our brothers and our sisters are young in their 40s and 50s, and they're ending up getting stroke, and we wonder what's going on. Sometimes in Africa, we think it's African sign. Not every one of it is African sign. I believe in African sign, but for the most part, I like to look to medical, reasons before I even jump to African sign. So now when your blood pressure gets too high, there are 4 major organs that it can affect in your body, and I just want you to know that. And when your blood pressure is too high, it affects your eyes. So it can cause blindness in your eyes. When your blood pressure is too high, it can affect your heart. So then it can lead eventually to heart failure or heart attack. If your blood pressure gets overwhelmingly high, it can also affect your brain. So the vessels in your brain, sometimes they swell up, and then they erupt, and then you have bleed in your brain. Or sometimes if the blood, it makes the vessel so narrow, and then blood can pass through and it starts to get clot. And then once you get clot in there, you can also have stroke. So it can also affect your kidneys. It can lead to kidney failures if your blood pressure, because those same vessels, the vessels that are leading to your kidneys, if they're just continuously working too hard and getting stretched and getting relaxed and stretched, very stretching more than what it should be, all these things can happen to you. So my thing is, to recap, it affects your eyes, It can lead to blindness. It affects your heart. It makes your heart muscle work very hard, and that can lead to heart failure, sometimes heart attack. It affects your brain, and it can lead to stroke, and it affects your kidney. So things that we can do. I know the health system in Liberia, and I'm just, oh my God.
For all right, the phone is there over there, so we'll move on. And then we'll continue. She'll be back, and then you have it as a little education with her. How you go about, you know, 20 times we'll answer some few questions, but she won't be back to tell us more. You know, to tell us more. Let me see here. I think she will come back. Here, let me kick out the studio. She will come back. Also, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to your voice and sound of Esoteric. We're coming to you live from Prospect Park out in Pennsylvania. And so my co-host are talking about high blood pressure out there. So I cannot speak to that issue. That's an area. That's why she wanted to give us knowledge in that area. She is away. While she is away, I'd like to take you to Sound County here. That's a area I'm quite familiar with. And so let's talk about some politics a little bit here. Amen, Boko, if you want to come on to, that's great. I've seen the link already. All right, so like this one, I want to talk about the political side of Frederick Call versus Samson Wiah. Doesn't matter who the traditional people endorse. All right, so if you follow side of politics, the midterm election is coming up in the county, and so we have had a bunch of candidates all over the place. They want to participate. Among the slew of candidates we have right now, we have two major contenders right now. And so let me see what I can find some images for you for the guys. The two major contenders for the county. District number 2, I'm talking about county politics. So the first one here is right here, Mr. That's Samson Wiah right there. Samson Wiah is one of the front runners right now in district number 2, Sinoe County. The death of the Maxwell created a vacancy of vacuum in district number 2, Sinoe County. And so as a consequence, all the guys, the sons and daughters of Sinoe County, they are coming forth to participate. And so we have Utelo Nawe, Jose Kujo, and we have Mr. We are always on the screen there for you. We also have Frederick Call. Frederick Call is one of the guys participating. The line is bad, she said. What's going on here? Let's see, let me see what's going on here. Sorry for that. The line is bad, okay. Let's see what's going on here. 1, 2, 1. 2, 1, 2. Let's see what's going on here. 1, 2, 1, 2. Some issues over there. Let's get on a musical break here for you. Let's have some. Let's get on a break here for you.
girl. Do me the honor, girl. Won't you do me the honor, girl? And do me the honor, girl. Marry me, do me the honor, girl. And do me the honor, girl. Won't you do me the honor, girl? And do me the honor, girl. Marry me, do me the honor. There is no question. You got the key to my heart. Nobody else but you. You're everything I want. Do me the honor, girl. Be my wife. Won't you do me the honor, girl? Be my wife. I can't my do. Baby, do me the honor. And marry me. Baby, do me the honor, yeah. Do me the honor. Won't you do me the honor, yeah? And do me the honor, yeah. And marry me, do me the honor, yeah. And 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 marry me, do me the honor. You got beauty, you got class. Never everything I want. Your heart is pure as gold. Your smile can light up a room. You were meant to be my wifey, hey, yeah. Baby, I was meant to be your hubby, hey, yeah. You make it easy to love you, ooh, girl. Nah, you make it easy to please you, ooh, girl. Yeah, you were meant to be my wifey, hey, yeah. Baby, you were meant to be my boo, hey, yeah. I do it.
Black magie, yeah. Oh man, it's like you never know tomorrow. Oh no, this girl she no trouble. Ella be baby, you can be my lady. Come ride with me now, baby girl you ride me. Oh man, take it easy like Sunday. Every day is a fun day. You give me love in the morning, give me love me in the evening.
When I'm with you, I feel like I can't lose control. So just hold on to me, baby, don't you let go.
Don't let go now. Hold on, baby, hold on. Don't let go. Hold on, my lady, hold on. Don't let go. You're my pen lover. Girl, you love me all day, love me all night. You're my pen rider. The way you hold me all day, hold me all night. You're my pen lover. My pen lover.
Baby, so mommy, check out your melody. Oh, yeah, Joe for me. Shall not tell nobody. Is it because of money? Nana is calling me, oh. She want to spend my rubber. on no brother. Baby, slow down, make you no go fall down. Baby, will you come now? She wanna make love to you. Is it because of money? Then he's darling me, oh. She wants to spend my rubber. Louis Vuitton on brother. Baby,
hold on, baby, hold on, don't let go. Hold on, my lady, hold on, don't let go. You're my pen lover. Girl, you love me all day, love me all night. You're my pen rider. Know why you hold me all day, hold me all night. You're my pen lover.
Girl, I fit to go a long time, I fight for your love. No matter what you do, you always be my boo. All I do is up for you. I travel the world back and forth for you. I don't need grace for you lately. I don't need grace for you, hey. Think about you lately. I don't think about you, babe. Mandole, Cherry Coco, future wifey, woman of my dreams. Come on to me, hold on to me, my lover. Come on to me, hold on to me, my baby. When I'm with you, I feel like I can't lose control. Hold on to me, so just hold on to me, baby, don't you let go. Don't you let go.
Hold on, baby, hold on, don't let go. Hold on, my lady, hold on, don't let go. You're my love me all day, love me all night. You're my pen rider. Know why you hold me all day, hold me all night. You're my pen lover.
All right, guys. So let me see whether my sound is still. I'm technical problem here. Yeah, let's see. Let me verify. All right, let me check my other device and see if the sound is good now. So let's see. Let's see. The sound quality problem. Hello? One, two. So it's you guys have a time. Some places. I was on here almost. No, it's not on here.
D12 on the beat.
All I do was win, 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 win. All I do was win, 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 win. Born to win. I say I was born to win. Born to win. I say I was born to win. All I do was win, 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 win. All I do was win, 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 win. I say I jump over it. Now how you deep on me, I jump over it. I say I jump over it. Now how you deep on me, I jump over it. They will see it. I say they will, yeah. Say you forced to let me. You not let me say you forced to let me. You forced to let me. You not let me say you forced to let me. Jehovah bless you, no man can curse you. When Jehovah bless you, no man can curse you. When I can go here with Egypt, and when I feed it with earth, oh yeah. When I need it with you. Yes, sir. All I do was win, 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 win. All I do was win, 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 win. Born to win. I say I was born to win. Born to win. I say you was born to win, yeah. All I do was win, 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 win. All I do was win, 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 win. I say I jump over it. Now how you did by me, I jump over it. I say I jump over it. Now how you did by me, I jump over it. I say I jump over it. I say your time, now your time, nobody can stop it. I say your time, now your time, nobody can stop it. They can do all they do, and they can talk all they talk. They can do what they do.
Okay, let's try. One, two. Let's see. Still has sound issue. Hello. 1, 2, 1, 2. Hello. It's still not working. Oh, that sounds. The sound technical problem. Let me see. I can try this. Hello. Oh. This is such. Hello. Let me see. Oh, we just now. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2.
still not working. Look, I'm having a lot of sound issue here today. So we're going to end the show unfortunately like this. Oh, the sound is getting some technical issue here. Oh, wow. Hello? 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 Hello?